And what is up, YouTube? This is our weekly Wednesday stream. We started a little bit early here. We're going to be playing about a 4-minute track for you. We'll be back on the mic right around 2 o'clock. So we'll be right back. Everybody tell your friends and foes we've gone live. And we'll show you some graphics. In the meantime, it's some current solar imagery. This is the full extended version of the song Unified Theory that we use in the daily space weather videos. Talk to you in a few minutes. All right, and I am here. Am I visible? Okay, there we go. Everything looks just fine. I'm unable to see my own stream. Attempting to use the YouTube app. Yes, the famous YouTube app. Sometimes it does work. And my Android device is quite up to date. I won't taffer on that any longer. I won't worry about it. I'll just hope for the best. Normally, I stream the video that I'm streaming so that I'm able to see if I start like not showing the graphics that I'm Because, folks, you see, I can't always see what's on the screen because of the way. Anyway, I won't get into the gory details of how it is we create content. So, you may have noticed this. We put together the 1 week imagery here from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. Most of the life cycle there is sunspot 2882, especially. The M-class flare producing sunspot. Actually, we're only going to 1010 there for some reason. Anyway, here's just the most current image from the GOES 16 SUVI. And yeah, so your comments shall control the stream today. So whatever it is that comments start talking about, we'll make sure that that becomes a subject matter. So let's see. Okay. All right. I got to conform to my own rules here. It's always helpful to conform to your own rules, folks. When you make rules, you should probably follow them yourself. Otherwise, you might suck at life. So here's, since Badger Life says hello yellow, we'll view the GOES 16 SUVI in 171 angstroms. And cheers. Thanks for leaving comments, everybody. Are earthquakes caused by near-Earth asteroids flying by? That's a great question. The answer is no. I mean, I think pretty unequivocally. Unequivocally. Unequivocally, no. Although you can track them here at spaceweather.com. It's got a great little table for you there. What are the upcoming near-Earth asteroids that are known? And of course, some could not be known, folks. It's possible that there could be asteroids headed our way that we have no idea about. It looks like a light day for asteroids today. Only one. So at 2.5 lunar distances, that's in between Lagrange point 1 and Earth. Lagrange point 1 being at about 4 lunar distances. It's 2021 TX10. That's the only near-Earth asteroid. And you may have noticed we don't usually cover too many asteroids or anything like that on the channel because there's plenty going on with more serious things like the sun and geophysics and so on. So that's sort of why that's not covered too much. No, I don't think asteroids cause earthquakes for a countless number of reasons. And let's move on to something else promptly. All right, what else do we have? Nabo J totally teared up while watching Captain Kirk go up in a dick-shaped rocket this afternoon. And yeah, let's talk about that. You must head to twitch.tv/PlecoThoughts. Twitch TV/PlecoThoughts. You may not have known that's a thing, but Jim Kirk streamed for nearly 7 hours today. Let's use this as our screensaver. Yes, classic Pleco thoughts going on there. If you're wondering what Jim was thinking, so were we. All right, so what else do we have in the comments here? In fact, let's display those. There we go. By the way, this is one of Smash Staff's many social media accounts. One of her channels on Twitch is twitch.tv/PlecoThoughts. So go follow that if you'd like some great aquarium imagery This is from just today. It's delightful to be able to view your own pets while at work. All right, so yes. I noticed some people was that on Facebook? I think that was on Facebook. Christine Wazankari was talking about how she doesn't think Shatner's actually going to go to space, which made me say, what? What are you talking about? Why would he not go to space? It's really hard. You put on a jumpsuit and then you sit in a chair. You wear seat belts, and then you go into space, and then you're back. I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, yeah, you might die. It's still pretty statistically dangerous, I would imagine, compared to a lot of things that humans do. Traveling at tens of thousands of miles per hour, like, what's escape velocity? 16,000 miles per hour, something on those lines. Check it out. Jim's hamming it up. I don't know what time of day that was. So yeah, I don't know why she would think Shatner wouldn't go to space. By the way, if you're wondering, I proclaimed that I would go to space back in, what was it? 2012. In 2012, I got severely injured, and I lost my mind by being in shock. Like consistently in shock for an extended period of time. And no, I didn't lose my mind. I had a moment of clarity. Yes, my employer said, "You can't come back to work even though you're physically capable because reasons." I think that was the craziest employer I ever had. That was Lehigh Valley Hell Network, if you're wondering. It's the Lehigh Valley's largest employer. And I don't have a contract to not publicly shame them for their ridiculous behavior. As a corporate entity, one of the most hilarious bureaucracies I've ever had the unfortunate circumstance of having to do business with. All right. So, yes. Shatner. So Shatner, he went up, but not in flames, right? Is he in space right now? How long is what's going on with Shatner there? Let's look that up. Oh, by the way, the reason that I brought this up is because our Pleco's name is James T. Kirk, so I figured maybe you'd think it was relevant. I'm looking for instances of him swimming around the surface upside down. He's recently become an acrobatic swimmer. Anyway, there he is on the glass. If you ever go to South America, don't step on a Pleco barefoot. You'll probably regret it. He's made out of rocks and spikes. All right. Son of a beehive. Bill Shatner. Bill Shatner cried telling Jeff Bezos about his flight to space. Yeah, congrats to William Shatner. If you were ultra rich, you might have already gone to space already also. One of my favorite Canadians this side of Tom Green. Bill Shatner, yes. A strange actor, but I like him. That's the thing. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, Bill Shatner. Of course, we named the Pleco after the character, because the Pleco is a floozy. So that's why we named the Pleco Jim Kirk. The Pleco would be promiscuous if we had additional Plecos, which we will have soon, by the way. So cheers to Jim Kirk. And to Bill Shatner. Yes. Bill Shatner, fine job. A fine job, Bill Shatner. Buy that man a club soda. Club soda. A bunch of water infused with carbon dioxide. I encourage you to pop one today. Although, maybe you'll have to create an air capture device for wherever you live so that you don't turn your local neighborhood into a black hole by making it so hot that it becomes a singularity as a result of all that carbon dioxide coming out of the can, because carbon dioxide is very dangerous, folks. It's very dangerous. But so tasty. So consume a carbonated beverage today. We'll reveal brands at a later time. By the way, if you'd like to purchase things, there's a segue. If you'd like to purchase things, could I suggest purchasing a bike? It seems like a brilliant idea. Well, if you head to curated.com/e/dan.nigro, you too could buy a bike from me. Yeah, I might help you pick it out. If you could simply come up with what kind of bike you want to purchase, how much you want to spend on it, and your height and things like that, like what you want to use it for, those kinds of things, I'll hook you up. I'll shop. I'll even pick out tires for you. By the way, there are some spectacular tire choices that I'll be suggesting people upgrade to in the near future. So yeah, curated.com/e/dan.nigro is my profile on there. Let's segue to the imagery I was showing earlier. And I do see your chats. I will place them on the screen momentarily and redirect the stream to those. By the way, please don't just say the word plasma and assume that it's magic. All right, so here's the sun over the past week. And you've got a composite imagery here. This is 171 angstroms and colorized magnetogram. Somebody over at the SDO knew what they were doing, you see, because contrary to shockingly popular belief, it seems like a lot of people think NASA are a bunch of imbeciles, which is just weird. And can I just impart a little bit more how much we need a SodaStream? I want that to be the new sponsor, SodaStream, and a carbon dioxide provider. I need carbon dioxide in pressurized tanks because I want plants to grow better next to my computer. So, cheers. Can I divulge the brand? I can't. Where is that carbon coming from? Is it from Air Products? We can only hope and dream, folks. Some of the tastiest carbon I've ever drunk. I've ever drunk. The most. All right, so enough about carbon. The unknown eagle thinks they do. He could be on something, but he is crazy. I like this quote. That's why I've switched to a spaced out background. Dear viewer, let's reflect on that. I'll give you 10 seconds. All right. So, did you get anything out of that? All right, let's read all comments. We're going to read all comments. However, we will not be required to cast any souls into the river Styx or into an ever-deepening and darkening abyss of doom and destruction. All right. So our first comment is, hello, yellow. And I'm not going to read my own comments. You can go read the live stream chat, maybe, if the software works properly yourself. Then high fives. Are earthquakes caused by near-Earth asteroids flying by? Again, to reiterate, no. Boom, boom, out go the lights. Flare. I don't know what that means, so I didn't comment on it besides reading it. Smash Staff says, hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Give Smash Staff a raise. Our only employee would prefer to get paid more money. So tell your friends and foes about the channel. Buy the merch. Become a member of the Smash team. She gets a cut of all of that, theoretically, assuming we aren't spiraling the drain, attempting to refrain from being a canary in the coal mine. How would you like to not be a canary in the coal mine? Are you a human measurement of failure? We're trying to get you out of that thing, that horrible rut that all of mankind has been immersed in. Oh, you see what happens. You don't even say the word, and you end up on the underside of a turd. It's just unfortunate. Here's another club soda shot that goes out to each of you who is in a place that sucks and unable to buy beer. Or unable to drink beer. Or worse yet, unable to drink carbonated beverages of any kind. All right. What is going on? Are you baited, Chad? Chad. You baited, Chad. I knew they'd get some kind of a label that resists rotation. You see that? Baited, Chad. Chad. Folks, please don't be scared of Chad. Chida is not scary. Ask Bagashoff. He made a video about it. Eugene the Philosopher. Yes, Eugene the Philosopher. Make sure you follow that channel. He's been on ours many times. He's probably our most featured guest of anybody. Yeah, stop being so scared of Chida. Chida is not scary in the slightest bit. Chida is a paper tiger. Okay? Don't negotiate with paper tigers. You know what happens to paper tigers? They get wet, and then they turn into paper mache, and then they turn into paper origami swans before they become a spitball, and then eventually they get eaten by children who are convinced that paper is food. Leave us a comment if you've consumed tablet paper. And let us know what elementary school tricks you did. So what were you into? Were you into eating paper? What about self-tattoos with ink? Consuming paste? Let us know what you did. Maybe you walked around without a mask on. I don't know. All these kind of old-fashioned things that people used to do back in the day. What a bunch of savages. Who would do such a thing? I wonder if Dick Yingling would do such a thing. All right, anyway. By the way, here's a plug for Allentown's. Oh, wait, it's not from Allentown. It's from Pottsville or something, right? Anyway, where are you located? Let us know in the comments while I look up if it's Pottsville or Pottstown. Son of a... Oh, wait, here we go. It's Pottsville. Good news, folks. It's Pottsville is where the Yingling Brewery is located. And, yeah, it's delicious. I mean, if you think that America's oldest continually operating brewery, established in 1864 or something, around the same time the current theories as to what the sun's made of, I don't even know how. It's older than your grandma, probably. It's most likely older than your grandma. Anyway, so COVID, you got anything to say for yourself there, COVID? COVID, do you have a comment on the fact that I'm as scared of you as I was in January of 2020? COVID. Anybody home? All right, let's cut to some music here. We'll see if COVID can come up with a response. Somehow I doubt it. Yes. And here's to everybody not believing nonsense. All right, so I wanted to run through something here that many of you might find interesting. This is my folder. This is my Scratch folder. So here's some behind the scenes stuff. This is a YouTube exclusive, folks. So yeah, this what you see going on right here. I know YouTube is not a typical streaming platform, but what you see right here, this is my folder going all the way back to August 4th, August 5th, probably. And yeah, check it out. We were getting some Hubble Deep Field imagery, this energy beam thing, this Hubble Deep Field image. And that was because each time we switch to a new folder, it becomes a huge project because we have so much media constantly going through the gears that are smAsho.com and so on, that we have this just endless supply of my scroll button not working. I don't know what is up with that. It doesn't work. I got to use the scroll wheel. There's no smooth scrolling on a folder, folks. There's a Windows tip for you. So I just wanted to go up through here because there are so many interesting things to talk about in everything from our thumbnails, which are spectacular, by the way. Here's the one from that would be 829, 830 probably. Yeah. I'll actually open this using, oh geez, what should I use? Whoever opens a file this way. We'll use, we'll open in Google Chrome. Since this is a YouTube exclusive, we'll open in Google Chrome. Everybody's favorite browser. Indian and Chinese market makers like it the most. Google Chrome. The best choice to simply display an image. Great job, Windows. Anyway, it was an interesting day here on the thumbnail because we were talking about diamonds, apparently, and also electron anomalies. Check it out. It was a day with massive electron anomalies. Now, of course, if you weren't using a GPS under these tiny portions of the Earth, you'd have no idea that there were electron anomalies, but there you go. Things happen, and then and then we cover the things. So yeah, let me just continue to go up through the folder here, as there may be some other interesting things to look at, right? So apparently, it looks like there was quite a bit of activity around that time on the northwestern limb. Here's one of the clips we took, one of the 335 angstroms clips. And we use helioviewer.org on the regs. Just bear with me a minute. We are streaming live. I just let this play and vanish off of the screen. Yes, keyboard shortcuts, folks. Keyboard shortcuts. They'll save your bacon. So there's a great tiny clip for you. Yes. Just in case you wanted to attempt to catch a glimpse of whatever that was. Yowzers. Windows might keel over, folks. Let's hope it doesn't. Oh, I see. There was a rather large solar flare on that day. What the heck? That was on May 29th. Okay, May 29th. What is going on? Yeah, May 28th and May 29th. Why did I think it was August? All right, well, I did read in the YouTube terms of service that being able to read things like numbers and letters is optional. So I'll check this one out. I'm not sure what was up with that. What is up with that? I know what that is. That's X-ray imagery from the CDS portal, I think. Yes, certainly X-ray imagery there. Does anybody remember what the heck that was? It was probably on a thumbnail. Oh, look, we made smAsho presents the Sun Part 16 at that time. So that was late May of 2021. Why the heck did I think it was in August? Anyway, whatever. Let's continue up the folder here as we save an inordinate number of files. So we look at everything from coronal mass ejections to coronal holes. Sometimes we look deep in the coronal hole. And so here's a great view of one of those. Oh my God, it's a coronal hole. It's almost as scary as a black hole, except it's not math. It's an observation. All right, so just bear with me a minute. I'm going to let that play for a minute, and I'm going to play another track here once I select one. If anybody has a request of something to talk about or a track to play, let us know in the comments. Once again, I do see the comments there. I'm going to display them when I come back. We're going to play, let's play something shorter. This is Glacial Drift IX. Glacial Drift 9. All right, I am back. And holy coronal hole. Holy coronal holy hole. That is one holy hole. Anyway, once again, here's my... It's entitled June of 2021, so... Yeah, going all the way back to June of this year. Let's check out this thumbnail. By the way, I don't know if you were aware of this or not, but there's a reason why the thumbnails look the way they do even to this day. The reason that they're light emitting yet black is because they are they're black body plasma letters. They're plasma emitting black body letters that are disintegrating. Or maybe your soul. Maybe your soul is disintegrating. I'm just kidding, folks. Your soul's not disintegrating. Don't worry. You'll be fine. So yeah, the Earth's field having some magnetic anomalies on that day. I don't know what that was about. Maybe go watch the video if you weren't aware of what occurred on that day. I don't know. I'm not going to go look. But there's a playlist for it. It would be the daily space weather videos. So, daily space weather at youtube.com/smashomash /playlists. youtube.com/smashomash /playlists. And let's put your chats back up on the screen. As promised, I will scroll all of your chats. Leave comments. We will read the comments on the screen. We will read the comments on the screen. Once again, congratulations to Captain Kirk and to James T. Kirk, the Pleco. NASA is going to shoot a rocket directly into your... Yes. NASA is sending some asteroid hunting rockets. It was only an 11-minute flight to 50 miles. 50 miles of altitude. Son of a... All right, I have no comment. Congratulations on William Shatner going to space. All right. Don't let that curb your erection, folks. He was still at that's still a pretty high altitude. 250,000 feet. It's pretty high. I mean, okay. Holy crap, you didn't know William Shatner was a Canadian. Son of a beehive. All right, everybody, once again, cheers to William Shatner. And I need some freshies to continue with this stream, and I just threw club soda all over the place, including my phone and my keyboard. Oh, my God. Fortunately, I got a highly water-resistant Microsoft brand keyboard. Microsoft brand keyboards. They will prevent your soul from being cast into an ever-deepening and darkening abyss of doom and destruction. Son of a... oh, my God. Smash staff. Please send paper towels. Yeah. Everything's going to be fine, folks. Here at the Smash News Network, we're not going to be shut down by a simple spill of club soda. Oh, no. I don't think so. Seriously, though, I've got a pool of liquid here. The only thing I have is the toilet paper that we use for the toilet paper mic. Oh, you know what? Let's go out on a limb. Let's shut down the logos. It's time to go prepping level. All right, that's it. These props are retired. This prop, which we used to create our toilet paper mic. You remember when I used to talk into a toilet paper microphone? Well, this was that toilet paper. And we still have it here as a memoir of the non-suckage that represented the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. Ha ha. Oh, it's so funny, isn't it? It's so funny being the least busted name in news. Yeah, it's hilarious. How about the least corporately sponsored name in news? What about that? By the way, if you'd like us to become more personally sponsored, become a member of the Smash team at smashomash.com/SmashTeam, the official dissemination site of the news at the Smash News Network. Least busted name in news. All right. I think everything is just going to be just fine here. In fact, I'm going to be using this toilet paper. You know why? Because there's no shortage. There's no shortage, folks. There's no shortage. Somebody wants to raise the price again. Do you remember what happened last year with oil prices? Do you remember what happened with oil prices? I ask you, I implore you to ask yourself, do you know what happened with oil prices? Do you remember when oil was negative $45 a barrel? Yeah, it was garbage. You had to pay somebody $45 to take it off of your hands. You know why that was, right? That was OPEC trying to intentionally destroy the U.S. oil industry, the oil shale industry. It was to put it out of business, which it succeeded in doing, by the way. The U.S. requested that they don't produce excess oil, and they produced excess oil intentionally in response. Anyway, you can look it up. You can argue with me in the comments about it, but that's what happened. They flooded the market, and they reduced the price of their own product to garbage by doing it. It was something that only a futile sociopath would even try to do. It makes no sense. I mean, for God's sakes, folks, read Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Just read it. Whether you're a warrior or not, just read the goddamn book. You don't have to kick anybody in the face or stab anybody with a spear or climb into a trench. Dear viewers, have you found yourself entrenched? Are you entrenched in nonsense? Are you entrenched in anything that's just unfortunate? All right. I don't know what's been happening with my forecast GIFs, but let's just move on. We're going to put your comments back up on the screen here. I'm going to put some better graphics up first. I know what we'll do. Let's head to, I'll display this. I'm allowed to display this. Yes. It's radar.weather.gov. Just a classic. Man, oh man, we've got some heavy storms just moving across Lake Michigan here. Just kind of making their way into that's going to make some serious effects. You're going to have high surf all around the western shores of Lake Huron, for example. You know, because something that a lot of people don't understand is that some parts of the atmosphere don't suck, but they blow, and vice versa. And if you know which is doing which, it's very beneficial. Let me direct you to the NASA GOES interactive weather satellite. It's quite good. And if you look at things like, I don't know, the visible, you'll see a blizzard sweeping its way into the Dakotas. And we don't get to cover the visible much, so we'll actually use it as a background here for when I put your chats back up on the screen. And we'll read the chats that I haven't read yet. So thanks again, everybody, leaving comments. Don't forget to tell your friends and foes about the channel. Press the share button. And regarding the Kármán line and 50 miles of altitude and so on, Steve French, no, they do not have dispensaries in Belarus, pretty sure. And where did I stop reading comments? This is unlikely that I'll actually read everybody's comments, by the way, but today we're doing it. Steve French says, hello, Sun Junkies. Hello, Mountain Lion. Thanks again for leaving. Everybody, Steve French, if you haven't seen Steve French's appearances on Trailer Park Boys, the TV show, I want to say season 5, but don't quote me on it. Sometime around the Jump the Cheeseburger, I think. We hope you didn't do too much damage to Trevor when you tried to rape Trevor. All right, so he's just a big stone kitty, Steve French. Exactly. Ludwig Holwein, the most German name that we've ever had, leaving comments. Good enough to get a wrench and refined enough to not hit anybody with the wrench. Here's to Ludwig Holwein. Ludwig, don't worry. Some Americans can pronounce your name. It's not a complete disaster here. There are a lot of smart people, non-idiots. Non-smart people and COVIDiots, but lots of smart people and non-COVIDiots also at the same time. All is not lost when there is hope. And there will always be hope. If you're dead, you might not have hope, but I'm not so sure. So Visceral Grima wants to know how big was the Carrington event, and that's enough to get moderator status. That question. The answer is rather big. It was a well-directed flare / CME. And let's just say if you had high-frequency radio back in the, 1859? If you had high-frequency radio back then, which of course you didn't, but if you did, there would have been a large blackout. The interesting thing is that Carrington actually had the sun in his telescope while the flare happened. And he noticed an extreme brightening, and I think he asked somebody to come take a look, and then it had subsided by then or something. It's quite an interesting story. John Morey says, I am the great Cornholio. I need iron for my magnet hole. See, now that's something that's vastly misunderstood. Folks, let me just talk about magnetism, because it's pretty serious. Magnetism is highly misunderstood. If you take hydrogen gas, yes, hydrogen gas, and you put it under 1 million atmospheres of pressure, it too becomes a magnet. So, just to reiterate, magnetism is weird. Stars and planets are magnets. And the current paradigm of understanding of what they're likely made of is coming to an end. We are at the point in science when the frontier of material science, which is the useful part of what things are made of, is sort of coming to a new frontier. And that frontier is superionized materials. So if you look it up, superionized materials, they are under extreme pressure, such as 1 million atmospheres of pressure when it comes to things like hydrogen, or 4 million atmospheres of pressure when it comes to water. It turns out when you compress water to 4 million times the normal atmospheric pressure of like 29 millibars, when you're at, 100 million millibars of pressure, the oxygen nucleons turn into a cubical lattice structure. And the hydrogen becomes its own liquid feature, and it's sort of important because when we have materials under extreme pressure, they're not necessarily as hot as some may believe. I'll just leave it at that. But these materials behave like metals. So with respect to liquid metallic hydrogen, we can clearly make it in a lab. You create a device called a diamond anvil, and you smash together two diamonds. And in between those diamonds is a tiny groove in which you place some hydrogen gas, and then you shine a laser through there, and you collect the laser data. Turns out these materials turn flat black, and they behave like metals. So it's a theoretically proven thing at this point. It started out as theory. It's been proven via diamond anvils. That's part of the reason why we have a playlist called The Diamond Anvil Too Hard to Smash. And check out all of our playlists. If you weren't aware, youtube.com/smashomash/playlists. And let's go back here. I want to go look at the water vapor map to give folks an idea of what is going on with that little bit of snow we've been seeing, in especially places like Wyoming. As the next time we have clear skies, which is soon, we should be able to see satellite imagery of the albedo effect, a shiny, white, new Wyoming. And you can see that moisture hanging around. It's starting to clear right in this area. So in the southwesternmost portion there of Wyoming, there is certainly a little break in the clouds. For sure, that area right there where you see dry air right under my mouse pointer, right about there. There are clear skies. Something common to all storms. I believe that's some kind of a Maya Angelou quote, by the way. Anyway, which brings me to a reason to follow us on Twitter. We actually talked about this stream on Twitter. Of course, we are on YouTube as well. And we're on BitChute. There's actually a video on BitChute that was not featured on YouTube, entitled "Incompetence is less than accountability is less than pull the plug on incompetence." So here's a Twitter feed. If you haven't checked it out, it's twitter.com/smashomash. There's last week's notification. So if you follow us there, you'll see that we typically put up a thumbnail or something like that before we go live. And I would display your comments while I let Twitter scroll here, but we can't do that. It requires more work than I am willing to put forth for this YouTube live stream. So yeah, here's some of our more recent thumbnails, which, let us know in the comments if somebody's got better thumbnails than us. The badassery of our thumbnails is just legendary. And our inability to put up with and tolerate nonsense is also, is it legendary? I don't know. We certainly don't really put up with and tolerate a lot of nonsense last I checked. But yeah, let us know in the comments. And we'll put those up on the screen here once again in a moment. I've been slacking looking at the comments here because let's see. So I've read most of these. Let's get to wherever I was. Yeah, plasma's not magic, folks. And let me just explain something about plasma. Plasma aligns to magnetic fields. Plasma does not produce stable magnetic fields. So when you talk about Jupiter, if you say, oh, Jupiter's made of plasma, Jupiter has places on it that are sort of consistent magnetic fields. And when we talk about things like superionized materials, we're talking about liquid metallic hydrogen and stuff. That is a type of plasma, but it's a type of plasma that has nothing to do with gas floating around in space and behaving chaotically. Superionized materials are a single segment plasma, and that is very different from the magical stuff that people claim is all around in space yet invisible. And what I'm saying here is that under these extreme pressures, things like hydrogen and oxygen, they form into a metallic lattice structure. The nucleons, they get stuck in this matrix. The electrons are free to flow around them like a metal. And that's just a fact. I mean, I don't think there's anything controversial about it. That's just a fact. That is how these materials behave. It's been observed in laboratories over and over and over again. Let's move on. And note the fact that our YouTube channel predicts, forecasts, whatever word you'd like to use. We forecast coronal mass ejections. We've been doing it for about, 8 months now about. I think it's about 8 months. And SMASH staff can corroborate. We don't brag about it too much, but it's kind of serious in that if one is able to, use the physics to explain how we forecast coronal mass ejections, I think it's kind of important. So yeah, you may want to tell your friends and foes about the channel, or you may not. I don't know. It could be a huge disaster. Notice how we're forecasting here back on the 9th. Could this be because we understand the way things like thermodynamics works? Thermodynamics. How do they work? Things in the universe are trying through natural processes to reach thermal equilibrium. You're trying to reach thermal equilibrium, and that's important. Pressure matters, folks, and pressure and density, they matter. If we've greatly miscalculated the density of the chromosphere of the sun and the corona of the sun, if we've horrifyingly misestimated the density of those structures, there could be issues with the heliophysics. And when observations don't back up theories, theories must be changed. That is the most basic precept of all science. Let's leave that there and move on. Whoosh. So yeah, we were saying, geomagnetic storms imminent, solar flare, CME warnings, stuff like that. Forecasting snowfall largely in the places that it actually was, to the point where it appears on our thumbnails. Showing lightning in real time, and that was a screenshot of lightning for the moment that I made the thumbnail. If anybody's up to date, yeah. Are you watching lazy YouTube channels that are like a week behind with their nonsensical reporting? Are you watching lazy YouTube channels that don't know anything about physics, but are trying to explain to you the way the universe works? Well, please stop. And please create and promote accountability in the year 2021. If you notice, there were problems last year with accountability. This year, we'd like to see that improved. What do you say? By the way, you're currently living through the ultimate opportunity that has ever been presented you. All of the corporate incompetence and bureaucratic incompetence in general, not just corporate, but NGOs, governments, corporations, etc. All of these giant organizations that you don't like, they need replacing by people like you. Make Earth not suck again. I'm wearing the hat. I don't think it's visible. Make Earth not suck again. It's up to you. It's up to you, folks. Each of you. If you think that you're going to somehow contribute to some sort of an organization and sit around with a bunch of flowery nonsense and circular logic and convince people that you ought to be in control of stuff that you can't handle, it's just not going to work, folks. You need to have actual accountability. Skill, talent, and training are irreplaceable, but you're not. You're not irreplaceable. And you know why it's important to understand that, folks? Let me give you time for you to understand. Or ask yourself, let us know in the comments, why do you not want to be irreplaceable? I'll give you a moment. The reason you don't want to be irreplaceable is because if you're irreplaceable, you can't be promoted. Let me reiterate. If you're irreplaceable, you can't be promoted. If you can't write a standard operating procedure for what you do, maybe you're irreplaceable. And you know what that means? That means you ought to write a standard operating procedure for what you do. Because if you're irreplaceable, you're irrelevant. You cannot be promoted if you are irreplaceable. So realize that. And that is simply a fact. And if that makes you mad, you're still invited to join the Smash team. Yeah, the Smash team. Where we will not promote nonsense ever. And I'll be accountable for everything that I say and do because I'm not a fraudster or a grifter. All right. So we're almost ready to close things out. I'm going to play one more video, sort of. I'm going to play an instant video. Via some music and some more graphics. We'll probably be showing you something like space, a frontier. These are the voyages of not being a COVIDiot, our continuing mission to non-COVIDiotic things, to seek out new physics and plausible theories, to boldly go where no hack fraud has gone before. Seriously, join the Smash team, folks. Join the Smash team. smAsho.com/Smash team. I would compare it to some other crowdfunding sort of a thing, but it's ours. It's nothing like anybody else's stuff. So whatever. It's vastly superior to your favorite crowdfunding site. I mean, it's got all kinds of capabilities. Ask our Smash Team members if you don't believe me. And if you refuse to do that, then just go to the site, smashamash.com. There's a link right there. It looks just like that. Just like that. It's the official website of the Smash News Network. Least busted. Name of news. And don't harp on that. All right, here comes another track. We are going to play $15 video. We're not going to play $15 video.
Disposable $15 video.
All right, yeah, that was Judge Marilyn Milian, if you're wondering. All right, we're going to play, let's see, this one's about 2 minutes long. This is called When I. And this is available, I think, nowhere besides on this stream. All right, and I'm back. We're going to close this thing out here momentarily. Thanks again to everybody leaving comments. If you watch the video in syndication and not live, leave a comment anyway. We read them all. We respond to many. Thanks everybody who supports the channel in whatever way you see fit. If you'd like the most content available, smashamash.com/smashteam. I don't know what else to tell you. Yes, SwearNet. I love SwearNet. Ricky, Bubbles, and Julian. Such a bunch of good dudes. Such a shame John Dunsworth is no longer with us. John Dunsworth, one of my favorite actors of all time, played Jim Leahy on the Trailer Park Boys. And I'll bet you his legacy lives on in Halifax at the local acting troupe there. Just a fantastic, fantastic role model of an actor in general. Barely drank. And yeah, Jim Leahy is my favorite drunk portrayed on a TV show of all time. So, if you've never seen Trailer Park Boys, highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommended. In fact, I consider Trailer Park Boys to be in the top 10 of all time shows. Now, it's a weird format. You may have never heard of it before. The format is, as described by Mike Clattenburg, it is cops but from the criminal's perspective. So if you've ever seen the TV show Cops, let's get some better imagery here. If you've ever seen the TV show Cops, the camera people, they follow the law enforcement people around. And that's sort of what the show is, right? Trailer Park Boys is the criminals. They have their own camera people that behave just like the ones on Cops, but they are there to document things from the criminal's perspective, and that's what the show is. Trailer Park Boys is Cops from the perspective of the criminals. And that's why you notice the format is kind of weird. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. In the days of, reality TV and stuff, which is pretty much the lowest form of pathetic when it comes to like artistic integrity of creating a show or anything like that, suggesting that you're just going to let the quote actors and actresses just ad-lib the whole thing like it's a reality show. It's not a reality show. The people know that they're on a show. You think that's how they behave if they were just in regular, everyday, boring RL? It's a joke. It's a fakeality show. And I don't know why I'm ranting on this, but it's just bad TV, folks. It's bad TV. I mean, listen, if you've ever taken Intro to Public Speaking, did you go to college? Did you take Intro to Public Speaking? Intro to Public Speaking applies to your basic conversations with everybody in the world. It's like sales. It's like everything is sort of all related here. I mean, Intro to Public Speaking. Consider your audience. Consider your audience. I know it's hard to do because there are a lot of stupid people that can't even consider how to get out of their own way, much less their audience. But nonetheless, you might not be a moron. And by the way, thank you for not being a moron. If you've been refraining from being an imbecile, congratulations. You may be on the above average side of things. Because remember, folks, approximately half of the human population is of, by definition, below average intelligence. Should we play one more track here? I think we should play one more track before we close things out. Here, from Sagittarius A star, at the nexus of the galaxy. Look, oh my God, it's so scary. Ooh, there are stars orbiting that thing. It should be frightening. It should be scary. You see this blue dot here? Oh, you can't see it. Well, right? There's a blue dot. Anyway, it's sort of like in there. Anyway, that is so not scary. Anyway, we may be experiencing a temporal warp as it's now the year 2045, 2055, 2065, 2075. Oh my God. But now we're back to 1998. We may be in a time loop. Oh my God. It's a gravity well. All right, we're going to play one more track for you here. This is Tilt-A-Whirl, and then we're going to close out the video. It's Tilt-A-Whirl, which is available certainly on this exclusive YouTube live stream. Great comments, everybody. All right. Yeah, thanks, everybody, for leaving comments, etc. We'll talk to you soon here. We've got daily content on the channel, on the regs. So visit us all over social media, wherever we happen to be at the moment. Yeah, drop us a line. See you soon. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. smAsho. Signing off from the Smash News Network, least busted. Name a news.